So today we're going to talk about ADD, ADHD. What are the triggers for it? What are the symptoms of it? Maybe understanding if you do have it or suspecting having it, or a child maybe. And then natural remedies that are very effective and very well researched. I'm going to lay out 4 of those for you, things you can start to implement in your life right now. Hopefully I can keep your focus during this, if it is you suffering for it, or maybe it's a loved one. There's a lot of triggers that set off concentration problems for sure. And there's kind of go through some of the layers of it. Stressful situations, obviously, especially for adults. Lack of sleep. If you're not getting enough rest, chances are you're making your concentration problems worse. Food additives, high amounts of sugar, processed foods, unhealthy bad fats, gluten. Food additives such as artificial flavorings, artificial dyes, sodium benzoate, which is a type of preservative. These are really important foods to be making sure to avoid so you don't trigger it, especially in your child with those food dyes and sodium benzoate. Overstimulation, whether it's from your phone, whether it's from your computer, or maybe a noise or a crowd, can exacerbate it even more. Environmental toxins, pesticides. This is why it may be important to get your food non-GMO or organic. And then alcohol just makes it harder to do the daily activities for those that actually have ADHD, ADD being a form of that. So these are some of the triggers. If you need help cleaning up the lifestyle, there are some resources below to help you get started on how to do that and make it simple. Now, what are some of the symptoms? Maybe you're wondering, I feel like I have this, I've heard about it, I'm not really sure. Difficulty paying attention, of course, is number one. And so you just can't focus on something for very long, or it takes you quite a while to really get through a task. Or I've been sitting here for 15 minutes and I haven't broke through on the task list I need to do. Now I'm starting to get anxious because I know I need to get a lot done, but my brain's just not firing. Some of those symptoms. Trouble keeping tasks for extended period of times. So like hitting a deadline at work, getting the schoolwork done for the kids, finishing the chores, right? Forgetfulness, poor time management, disorganization, hard time following instructions, or fail to complete them altogether. The appearance of just really not listening when someone is talking to you, avoiding longer, tedious mental tasks, like just not wanting to do that book I have to read or that thing we have to do at school potentially, careless mistakes, just careless mental mistakes, and just feeling sort of a restlessness because this anxiety sort of builds up in you when you can't focus, you can't get things done and you really want to. So here's some surefire, well-researched solutions. I'm going to give you 4 of them right now to snap yourself almost immediately out of that trend. Maybe not completely removing those feelings, but can really get you on track very quickly, whether you're suspecting or you actually have ADHD. Paced breathing out of the gates opens up the ADHD brain. Your brain is having problems. There's usually less gray matter going on with ADHD is what we're now understanding in children and adults that have it. So you're not able to access all the brain that you need to. The brain's not firing and synapses aren't doing what they're supposed to do, but there is a key to start unlocking that. You see, you have 2 nervous systems inside of your body. These are the autonomic nervous system. It's just working every day miraculously for you. You can imagine it like 2 pedals. You have the brakes and you have the accelerator. The accelerator is going to be your stress nervous system, your anxious nervous system. And so it is your accelerator to run away. If you're in the middle of the woods and saw a rattlesnake, it would get you out of there quickly and save your life. A lot of times we are being stimulated with our accelerator while sitting at a desk, while trying to get a task done. In everyday life, way too much accelerator. I can't change a lot of those things for you. I can't remove all of the stressors in your life. I won't try. A spouse, a job, traffic, whatever it may be, a situation with a child. However, these things are going to create anxiety. They are going to create lack of concentration. What you can do to combat this is fix the brakes. The brakes. So just like on a car, the brake system is going to slow things down. This is your autonomic nervous system. It calms you down. It focuses you. It digests your food. It controls your reproductive system. The things you do, think about when you are relaxing. That's what we need more of. And it's amazing how it starts to impact your body, especially if you're having concentration issues. So this technique of breathing will literally unlock the brain, calm you down, yet focus you at the same time. So it's called paced breathing. It taps into the autonomic nervous system and strengthens the brake. So you'll simply take a 5-second deep breath in and a 5-second deep breath out. It's important to really accentuate the out to get at least 5 seconds. It's going to focus that brain. It's going to calm down the system. You literally feel it. You might get a little lightheadedness with it. Now, with this, focusing your brain on positivity, gratitude, and reinforcing that although you do have the stress of the job you can't get done, although you are struggling with the concentration issue, although you do suffer with ADHD, you can focus, you can overcome it, and you do accept the way that you are, and that you can control it and make it better. You want to focus on that positivity. Don't let your mind wander, and I know this is a big ask, but you are going to be working on your brain's memory and strengthening system. This is not something that should be done once the concentration issue is there. It's like a toothbrush. You don't do it after the cavity shows up. You want to be doing this every day. I would advise on your way to work, and or taking a couple smoke breaks during the day. Don't actually smoke the cigarette. Do the breathing exercise. It's literally mimicking smoking a cigarette. You don't have to hold your fingers up like that. But you imagine taking a breathing break to focus your brain. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Paced breathing unlocks the ADHD brain. Pair that with some proper fueling. Sugar in your body burns like diesel fuel. Processed foods, carbs, chips, Cheetos, you eat those, you're asking for a smoky, sooty, bogged down brain. A sooty, bogged down brain can't think clearly and has trouble concentrating. So we want to make sure that we're putting in fuel for the brain. Those would be the opposite of it. Your brain loves fat. In fact, the material of the brain, 60% of it is fat. Fat burns like jet fuel. It burns like the gas stove as a kid. And it's blue, clean, no smoke, no residue. That's what we want our brain fueled with. So clean up the fuel leads to a cleaner brain. Processed foods and carbs and colorings going out. Those are all the chemical additives that have been shown through research to create concentration problems. There's resources below to help you with cleaning up that eating, following 5 simple guidelines of how you can eat and make food simple. Number 3 is water. Our brain, the weight of it, the mass of it, 85% water. So that's like, the brain, human head weighs 8 pounds. That brain makes up, that's a lot of water up there. If you have less water inside your system, that means more stagnation in the brain. There's not a flow, there's not a stream of water coming in, there's less of it. It's going to be less blood flow, less synapses, and that can lead to brain fog, feeling stuck. So 64 ounces of water a day at least. Fresh, clean spring water is great. Filtered water is great. Half your body weight in ounces is even better to help detox it, to help hydrate it, to help think more clearly. Number 4, nutrient and focus to be getting in EPA and DHA. A 2020 study in Nutrients magazine showed that ADHD, children and adults, have been found to have lower levels of longer chain omega-3 fatty acids in their cellular membranes. So lower levels of the longer omega-3 fatty acids that are needed for the cell membranes, very important for the brain. That correlates with behavioral issues, learning problems, poor conduct, hyperactivity, anxiety, temper tantrums, sleep difficulties. So studies have proven that there is a direct link with the quality of omega-3s going into your system and how your brain responds and how you act. So a Journal of Attention Disorders did a randomized control study. It was a placebo study, and this would be a top-notch one, where they looked at children and adolescents with ADHD, and they gave them omega-3s and omega-6s, a combo, and they found meaningful reductions in the ADHD symptoms. There's several other studies like that. DHA and EPA are the main components of omega-3s and these omega-6s. And when you get healthy forms of these that have not gone rancid, that have not been exposed to heat, that are protected like they occur in nature, then your body thrives off those. In fact, DHA is responsible at the the essential fatty acid, that pre and postnatal brain development is dictated by DHA. EPA is more involved in your behavior, in your mood. So you need both of these going in. High amounts of DHA, high amounts of EPA are best sourced and found in fish sources. So fish oil, sardines, pickled herring, all of these are going to be high in EPA, high in DHA. Add those to your diet, start fueling the brain properly, start breathing properly, water it all down, and you'll be well on your way to improving, decreasing the triggers, increasing and bettering the symptoms, and naturally doing it without even relying on medication. Like the video if it was helpful. Which part of this do you know you can start doing today? I'd love to see your comments below. Subscribe to get more benefits and more help like this for these everyday conditions a lot of us struggle with or don't even know we have, or maybe have a family member that does. And I'll keep bringing you solutions to make health simple. Check out these resources as a next step right here.